Hi there, this is just a short video on how I brew with the Braumeister. It's pretty much as per the instructions, but bearing in mind the instructions are conservative. So I'm brewing with 5.6 kilos of grain. As you can see, it's a good crush, nice and fine. So fill that up with 27 litres of filtered water. I know that's more than what it says in the manual, but I just try to reduce the amount of sparge water I use. So I'll just check what the settings are. So I'm just going to mash in at 25 degrees and let it work up to the 67 or something. So the first phase I've got is 5 minutes at 52. Second phase, I'll just make that an hour. Because I did a Pilsner last time, so that's why this is here. So I'll just make this phase 0. So 0 minutes at 71, and the fourth phase will be 10 minutes at 78. The fifth phase is nothing. So I'm boiling for 90 minutes at 102. So anything over 100 just keeps the element going through the whole boil. So there we go. So to fire it up, hit and hold start, and so the water's in, hit start, it just vents the pump. Oh, just to get any bubbles out. And so that's away. So it's saying that the water's now 22 degrees and it's heating it up to 25 for our strike water. There we go. So it heats at about 1 degree a minute. So it signals when it's reached your strike temperature. I would have made it 52 degrees, but I just couldn't be bothered waiting for it. So I found it doesn't hurt to mash in at tap temperature, and activates more enzymes, I think, as it heats up to the 52 degrees. So there we go, I can start to fill in the malt now. Okay, I realise this will be a cure for insomnia, this video, but I'm yet to see anything on YouTube that just shows how simple it can be. So that's what they call the malt pipe, with a rubber seal on the bottom. It just goes straight in. Make sure it's nice and flat on the bottom. And then the bottom screen, which is just that, goes in, falls down to the bottom. Then I can fill in the malt. All pretty straightforward. Okay, that's 5.6 kilos of grain. As you can see, it's pretty close to the maximum. You could put a bit more in, but at 85% efficiency, that's going to give you a pretty good drop. So mix that in a bit. Then top screen, so it's mesh. I've just got some rubber around the outside just to help it seal around the pipe a bit better. It goes on. So, not rocket science. There's this bar, goes on top. Do that nice and tight. And this is where the magic begins. So we've mashed in. Say start, and all things being equal, that's it. Pretty much I don't have to do anything now, and for another hour and a half. So the only thing I will do now is put the lid on. And I just made up a, I don't think it does much, but just made that up out of a car sunscreen. Just a bit of a jacket for it. Not pretty, I don't think it does much, but it doesn't hurt. That's it. So you don't need to panic. Every so often, 10 minutes or so, it has a pump break just to let the mash resettle. And then she fires straight back up again. And there she goes, away again. So don't let anyone say you can't do big beers in these things. There's 5.6 kilos of grain in this. I reckon I could get 6 kilos in. I've never had a wort fountain. Well, I don't think I have. I don't know what one is, so I've never had a problem pumping this, and I get it cracked fine at 1.2 mil. So it's all too easy if you ask me. That's with 27 litres of water in there. So she's pretty full. But it's good. Too easy. Yep, so like I said, this really is a cure for insomnia. It's if you're not asleep yet, it's finished its hour at 67, and when I say hour, it doesn't start counting the hour until it reaches the 67. So now it's finished that, it's ramping it up now to 78 for a mash out at 10 minutes, but that 10 minutes won't start until it gets to 78. So yeah, so everything's still going, no surprises. And just to stretch this thing out a bit, make it move a bit longer, I've just put a handle on here. It's just easier to tip it up and clean it, saves grabbing onto the bottom of the unit itself. And I just put a little spacer in up here just so the handle wasn't right down on the lid. So it's what are we up to? Okay, so there's, oh look out, I finally get to do something. So it's finished mashing, so I just hit quit and it says remove the malt pipe. So it's just ready to start boiling, but I'll remove the malt pipe. I'll show you what we do now. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Lid comes off. Nut comes off. Bar comes off. It's hot, 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 hot. Okay, now we grab this thing. Just place it there like that. Grab this bar and just lift her up. It's not heavy. Just put it there for a break. Let it drain a bit. And then that's it. What you can do now is just pull that off. Just give that a bit of a stir, but don't need to, of course. And I just put that back on. So it'll just help spread the sparge water across the top. Now you can press start the boil now while you're sparging, but I found it better. I get better efficiency if I just sparge or rinse the grain. It's hard, it's not really a sparge, but just rinse it, just 1 litre at a time, just like that. It just drains through nice and slowly, and I get really good efficiencies. I know maybe with the 50 litre, I know you can just dump the 8 or 9 litres straight on top, but I did that once, and basically the water must have channeled straight through, and I got really low efficiency. It was basically I took a refractometer reading and it was very low. It was almost just straight water running through it. So if I just go a litre at a time, I get the best efficiency. As you can see, there's not much to look at, but at least I get to do something, and it's just draining through. Okay, so now it's just a case of lifting the malt pipe out. And what I do now, let it drain for a sec. See, there's still plenty of wort coming out. And I'll put it down here, upside down. On the lid that's upside down over one of the vent holes, and it just drains into a bucket. So while that's draining, while that's draining, I can now hit start, and it shouldn't take too long to start happening. Okay, now just to prove, well, to check, firstly to see if how this is going. As you can see, I should have collected a bit over 30 litres with a pre-boil gravity of 1044. So I have a mark there which is at 30 litres, and there'll be at least half a litre in there, so I'm pretty happy with my volume. Now I'll just check the gravity. So I'm after 1044. I'm just doing all this so you can see there's no tricks. Just put that down. Oops. And I'll go and have a look. Well, you tell me. What does that say? Can you tell? I think that is well over 1044. Give me a look. Wow. Yeah, I'd say 1047. So I've done a lot better than 1044, and that was based on 80% efficiency. So I've done well so far. Okay, so I will. That's pretty much done. There's not much more happening there. So I'll take this out. I'll dump that later. Yeah. And I have collected about, I don't know, there'd be a litre there. Let's see what goes in. Wow, so I've got well over 30.5 litres there. So I've got really good efficiency, I would say. So she's just going to boil. Okay, if you've never seen beer boil before, that's it. Yeah, it's not jumping out of the kettle there, but it's whoops, certainly good enough. Probably why I do boil for 90 minutes. If I boil for 60 minutes, I'd obviously need a lot less sparge water, but certainly doing its thing. Okay, so we're still going, 36 minutes of the boil left. Doing its thing. Just to keep this little production interesting, I'll show you a few of the bits and pieces I've got. This is the stir plate I've made. The yeast going on it. This is just a garden fountain pump. And I'll fill that full of ice just to get it down to the last, get it down to kitchen temperatures with the old immersion chiller, and we'll go and see my keg system. And this is the business end of it all. So it's just a chest freezer with a temperature controller, and I built a timber collar on the top, some beer taps, and inside it's all pretty basic. Got a computer fan that will cut on when the door closes, just to circulate the cold air up to keep the glasses cool. That's it. There we go. Tinkerbell's finished. End of boiling. Boom. So I've just thrown my well flock in there and the 1 minute hops. So I'll get the water flowing to get this thing cooled down. Now this will start to come down pretty quick. I'll just put the hoses on. So it's coming from a tank from all you greenies out there, so I'm not wasting water. So as you can see, that's dropping pretty quick. Now what I do is I go into manual mode now. I hope manual mode, and I just turn the pump on because the outlet on the pump blows straight up the side of the chiller, and it sort of gets it down really quick. So there's the chiller, and you can see the pump's doing its thing, and you will notice it's coming down really quickly. It's down to, it's dropped 20 degrees in probably 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Alright, now I'll prepare the ice slurry for when she gets down to about 40 degrees. And as you can see, working on 80% efficiency, I was due to hit 153 for 25 litres, and I've done that, and I would say there's that's the 30 litre mark you can see. So I'd say I've probably done a little bit better than 80% efficiency on that. Okay, we're still chilling. It's been about 5 minutes. Pump's on. We're down to 39. Got my ice slurry here, ready to go. I'll whack that, get that going in a minute. Yeast is fired up, going nuts, and my beer's empty. So it's time to refill. Okay, Pilsner time. Haven't poured this one for a few days, so I'll just... yeah, terrible. Pour it a bit quick. This is the first Pilsner I've done on the Braumeister. I had a 3-vessel system for years, did hundreds of brews on it, but I was never able to do a proper Pilsner with multi-step temperature infusion. Now, as you can see, that is about as good as it gets, I would say. And that's just that's only been in the keg for 3 weeks, and I used gelatine to clear it, so it's pretty good to me. Don't know about you. Okay, so we're away, and this will drop it really quick now. We're down to 33. It should only take a couple of minutes to get down to just, I don't know, 20 degrees will do. You might ask, why am I going to all this hassle for an ale? It's because I have a Pilsner in the fridge. So yeah, I'll have to leave this for one to ferment out the fridge, but it's cool enough now. It'll stay at about 20 degrees in the garage. So yeah, simple. There you go. Down to 20 degrees pitching temperature for 1056 liquid yeast, and only in half a schooner's time, so didn't take that long at all. Now I won't even bother whirlpooling this. I'll just stop the pump and let it sit for 20 minutes and get it in the fermenter. Just like that. We're aerating, and what are we at? 19 degrees, perfect. So we'll see how much, I'll find out what my efficiency is now. Okay, we've got over 21 litres in there, and just to confirm it, I've got this fermenter without the lid on it weighs 1258 grams, and so we're well over 21 litres. I'll just see what's left in the Braumeister to work out my final volume. Okay, to wrap this up, we've got 22 litres in the fermenter, which is more than I need, so that's fine. 22 litres there. I've got 3 litres of trub and crap there, and there's about a litre left there. So if we work on, oh, and there's a litre there. So what's that? 22, 25, 26, 27. So if I go to here we go. So 27 litres at 1053. I ended up with nearly 86%. Now that's post-boil efficiency. So you've got to be happy with that. So anyway, that's how I brew on the Braumeister. It's not as hard and difficult and freaky as other people's YouTube videos. So yeah, get one.